Hello everybody, Albert here. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon in November, downtown Los Angeles, and just a few days ago, Tesla unveiled the Cybertruck. And I wanted to talk about that because of how groundbreaking I think it's going to be for the automotive industry. First of all, the most surprising thing about it is that it's produced by Tesla, a corporation, but it really discards the process of designing cars that have been defined by other automakers over the last 100+ years. This process has evolved from Henry Ford's shop to moving from silo to silo, starting with the design studio, but moving over to engineering, to finance, to production, to sales, and so on. And this seems to have consolidated a lot of that to really be more of a pure design process. And that pure design harkens to, I would surmise, this idea of first principles, which Elon Musk has talked about in the past. And that is, as an engineer trained in physics, you look at the problem and you solve based on solving the problem as opposed to looking at other solutions and how to evolve them. And so clearly, when you have something that looks this unusual, that idea of first principles is probably governing a lot of why it looks the way it does. And in the demonstration, the unveiling, they beat it with a sledgehammer. They actually showed the exoskeleton, the exterior skin, stopping 9mm bullets. And as a consequence of that idea about durability and the solution of using a stainless steel exoskeleton, it looks like some version of an armored car, which it actually is, an armored car for the everyday person. And so this idea of first principles really creates a sort of dramatic change from how automakers traditionally design, and I think that's a good thing. Coolness. Let me talk about coolness by describing what cool is not. It isn't safe, it isn't what's expected, it isn't evolutionary. Cool is really the opposite of that. And consequently, I think this vehicle has coolness in spades. People talk about ugliness in reference to the vehicle. I think maybe half the people who viewed this new design are thinking, boy, this is ugly. I would take that as a kind of badge of honor, at least during this period of the next couple of years before the vehicle actually rolls out. Because I think that opinion will change, and it even changed for some of the people at the event in the span of 30 minutes. Ugliness is an immediate reaction having to do with comparing what you see against tradition, against what's expected. And obviously, this isn't what anybody expected, and tradition is really not something that was used as a guidepost in the design of it. So I would take this idea of ugly with a grain of salt. Consequently, though, I think it's going to, my prediction is it will succeed in the marketplace very well, and when sales figures ultimately do come out, automakers are going to take notice, and they're going to start to look at their own processes of designing cars. And the advocates for this more pure design process, the advocates for reducing or lowering the silos that exist in all other major corporations, I think this is going to fuel that sort of change within companies to be more like Tesla and design from first principles. Or it won't, and those companies will ultimately see the consequences of that and may become dinosaurs if they're not already. So that's my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do subscribe, and we'll talk again.